Hello there, everybody, and welcome back to a Thinking Pack episode 26. And so, in this episode, basically, we are continuing on last episode, and this is going to be a bit of a rare episode in which I am not going to give any introduction, really. So, if you're looking for introduction, then go check out the last episode, because I summarized in the last episode, and I suppose you could count what I'm saying right now as introduction. So I guess I'm not giving no introduction. But anyways, last episode I summarized the last, I don't remember, 10 episodes or something like that, and explained where we're at right now, what we're doing, and where we're heading on to right as we speak. So basically, if you want any more information about that, go check out the previous episode. But basically, we are modifying this function here. So, this function, dropLavaBuckets, and this is very much, as I just said, this is very much a continuation of last episode. So if you have no idea what's going on here, I recommend you go and check out the previous episode, at least the last half of it, the last, 10 minutes or something, because that's when I get more specifically into what exactly is going on here. So, yeah, so dropLavaBuckets. So we are trying to get that to be able to... The turtle goes upstairs, and I said I wasn't going to do any introduction. I'm not good at doing that. The turtle picks up the lava buckets and goes upstairs. It's designed to handle 16 lava buckets. However, we don't have the buckets anymore, and so we're using cobblestone as filler items so that it can tell that the inventory is full. But when we get it upstairs, then we want it to drop the lava buckets into the chest without dropping the cobblestone. So that is the idea. So what we got here is we got our dropLavaBuckets function, and now we need to change this. So I'm going to quickly... I'm doing too many key presses. There we go. That's where I want it to be on the screen. So I'm going to just quickly look at my notes and try to see how my notes compare. So I built this program as a test program, basically, and I want to see how it compares with... Because I actually forgot, it was like several weeks ago that I was doing this, so I'm going to check how I need to edit this program. So this program, as we saw before, I think, it already works. It can bring the buckets to the surface and down and all that kind of stuff, and we were just about done, except then I was stupid enough to lose my buckets, and so now we need to compensate for having fewer buckets. So, okay, so the new program, so you can compare. So I'm going to read this out, basically, the new version of the program that I have. I called it Lava Elevator Dev 1.1, basically, is what I called this. So, yeah, so you can read on the screen there what the current program is, and I'm going to read out what the new program is, and we can see what the differences are. So, function, drop lava buckets, and I'm not reading all the details, just the main idea. So, function, drop lava buckets on the first line. Next line, print running drop lava buckets, so that tells us what we're doing. That tells us that the computer's running this program, so that we know. And then the next line, repeat, and then the next line is block front, and what block front is equal to turtle.inspect. I'm just going to move this over so that you can see equal turtle.inspect. So there we go. The next line is, where was I? Print no chest found. All right, and I've explained this whole program in the past, so go check out some of my older episodes if you're interested in learning more about how this program works. If you know programming a little bit, then you can probably guess how this works. But anyways, and I challenge you to do that. But if you want to learn, then go check out the previous episodes. But basically, so then the next line is print, no chest found. Then the next line is os.sleep1. Then the next line is until, and I think this is where the difference is, possibly, unless it's later on, until whatBlockFront.name is equal to Minecraft:chest. Oh, actually, that's not where the difference is. So until whatBlockFront.name is equal to Minecraft:chest. There we go. So that's the same. Now I'm going to scroll down, stick that repeat up higher. So the next line, of course, is repeat. The next line is empty equals 1. The next line is print empty equals 1. That's not something that really matters much because it's just for debugging so that I can tell what's going on, but I'm going to add it anyways. Print, open bracket, quotes, so that we can tell this is a string of text. Empty equals 1. There we go. So now this will print to the screen, so it will tell us as we're going. Okay. Print, where were we? Empty equals 1. There we go. Next line, for I is equal to 1, comma 16 do. All right. Next line, turtle.select 1, not 1, I, turtle.select I. There we go. Next line, if turtle.getItemCount is greater than 0, then, aha. So here's some differences. So here's where we get into the differences in this particular for loop here. So basically what the difference is, so that's obviously the first line that's different, is that we took out this turtle.drop, except that I didn't actually take it out, I just moved it to later. So basically what we're doing, so the way the program currently works, this for loop starts, it selects a slot on the screen here, and then, so it counts the slots from like 1 up, and every time it gets a new number, it selects the slot, and it drops the item. And it goes until it finds it's empty. So that's basically what happens right now. So what I'm changing it to is before it drops, check if certain things. So the way we want to do this, and I think I'm just going to do a straight change rather than trying to explain what the differences are. So the next line after turtle.select is turtle.getItemCount greater than 0. And then the next line, I create a variable, and I'm going to explain this better in a second, but I'm going to get it typed in first. So the next line I create a variable, and that variable, if I can find where it went, I lost my place. Aha, okay. So that variable is slot info is what I called it. Slot info is equal to turtle.get get item count. No. Slot info, turtle.get item detail. There we go. That's what I want it to do. So this will... Actually, I'll explain this in a second. So, next line, I need an if. If... And then give it some conditions. So I need to do an or. So you've seen in the previous if statements that I've done, you say, if this is true, then that. But I'm checking if this is true, or if this is true, then do that. So if you want to do that, if you want to have it work something out, and have an or and an and in and stuff like that, then you need some of these parentheses. So that's a very poor explanation of how they work. But anyways, it's not the point of what I'm doing right now. So, slot info. And if you want a better explanation of that, then let me know, because I'm probably leaving so many rabbit trails as I go along. As I go along doing these videos and stuff. So, if there's anything specific you want to know about, then let me know. And if I have an explanation for it, then I will try to explain it, assuming I get the time. I just realized I could be promising more than I can do. I don't know. But anyways, yeah. So it's good to know, because when I decide to do further explanations in the future, it's nice to know what you actually want explained. So yeah, so that's the thing. So anyways, it's very hard to type while I'm talking, because not only are you doing two things at once, but you have to actually think about two words at the same time. So it takes a long time. So there's where the or comes in right there. So what I'm doing in this line, you see, is I'm basically... I want it to drop the items only under specific conditions. Basically, the obvious thing is... So, okay, so we get up to the surface. So assume that right now the turtle's at the surface. Then I want it to keep the system going. So I want the turtle, obviously, to drop the lava buckets. But what if accidentally an empty bucket wound up in the turtle or something? Then what would basically have to happen is I would have to come by and try to get it out, find out that it's in there and all that kind of stuff. So this is just a way, what that or is for, is I'm basically telling it, so slot in, so okay, so here's a brief explanation. So start the for loop. So select the first slot, and if turtle.getItemCount is greater than 0, so basically if there's something in the slot, because otherwise it can't find out any information, obviously. But if there is something in the slot, then do these checks. So it checks slot info equals turtle.getItemDetail. So basically it checks the detail about the item. It checks, and you can try this in the Lua command prompt, which is probably another video I should make explaining that. But anyways, so you can try this. But anyways, so it gives you the name of the item that it just detected in the slot. So if slot info.name is equal to Minecraft : lava bucket, so basically if the information that it got from the item in the slot, if that item turns out to be a lava bucket, this is in the quotes here, this is the name of the lava buckets, the technical name of it. So if that item turns out to be a lava bucket, then proceed with the rest of the code in the if statement here. But we also want it to drop any buckets it happens to pick up that are empty. For whatever reason, it should happen to find one. So we want or, and then we want here, it's in parentheses so that it figures it out separately, basically, so that the code works better. But or if slotinfo.name is equal to Minecraft : bucket, then do this. So it's basically, checking if, in summary, it's basically checking if it's a lava bucket or if it's just a bucket. Then it will drop the item, except that it won't right now because it doesn't do anything. So, if turtle.getItem, okay, so where was I? If slotinfo.name Minecraft lava bucket or Minecraft bucket, then okay. So then, okay, what just happened there? I just got a whole lot of carriage returns and stuff. Not carriage returns, tabs. Anyways, so next line. So here's where dropping the item comes in. So if it turns out to be a bucket or a lava bucket, then turtle.drop. There we go. And then set empty to 0. This is, I think this is a part of the code, if I remember correctly. So I did figure all this out, but this was a few weeks ago. So sorry if I'm a little rusty on my own code, but basically, so I think this is a part of the code that is a little rusty. So it will, that is a little not working quite as I had intended, but it will get the job done. So basically, it stays there until it finds that the inventory is empty. However, like the way we're doing this, so it gets a whole lot more complicated if we have to check if the bucket, check if the slot is empty in one piece of code, and then empty the slot in another piece of code, and all that kind of stuff. So I'm just putting it right in here. So what this will do, basically, if I remember correctly, is it will find an item in the slot, and then it will do two things. It will drop the item, and then it will say that there's an item in the slot, basically. So it doesn't work quite ideally. However, all it has to do is run through the inventory one more time afterwards to find out that there's no item in the slot. Bucket. There's no bucket in the slot. So hopefully that makes some sense. That's a part of the code that doesn't work quite as well, but it gets the job done. It just isn't technically all that we're hoping for it to be. So, anyways, sorry about breathing into the mic there. But, so, empty equals 0. So if it finds a bucket in the slot. And we want it to be specifically, here's where it gets complicated with trying to get it as a separate piece of code and whatever, if I were to do this better, is, so if it finds a bucket in the slot, but not if it finds a cobblestone. So all these checks, like this line and this line and this line, I would have, well, at least these two lines, I'd have to do them again, which makes the code take longer. So that's why I have it included in here. So it just has to do another round of the inventory before it decides that it's empty. So yeah, so if it finds a bucket, then assume it's not empty, and print empty. Let's see if I can type the right keys. Empty is equal to 0. There we go. So that just tells us what's happening. So if we ever find the turtle stuck up at the surface, we can open it, and if we see a whole lot of lines repeated of empty equals 0, then we know that for whatever reason it's not detecting itself as empty. So then the next line, we just simply have to end that if statement, and then we have to end another if statement, and then we have to end the for loop, and then we have to go until empty is equal to 1, and then we have to end that master program. So hopefully this made some sense. Let's see, I said I would do a bit of an overview explaining what was going on, so I'm going to attempt to do that in a fairly short amount of time. And let me just check on how long the episode is. Yeah, so it better be a short amount of time because we still have a little bit more to do this episode. So, okay, so this part of the code up to this until statement here basically just checks if there's a chest in front of the turtle. So after that's done, then we know that there is a chest in front of the turtle that it can drop the items into, so now it starts dropping the items. So it repeats all the dropping items code until empty equals 1, and empty, we defined it as having no more buckets, or like having no more lava buckets or buckets in the inventory. That counts as empty. And so it will keep repeating this until it's empty. And so it assumes that it's empty to start with until proven otherwise. It tells us that empty is empty, basically, just so that we have some idea what's going on. And then for I equals 1 to 16, select the slot. So it will select all of the slots in order, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and on like that until 16. And what happened? Did I just stuck dirt in the turtle for some reason. Anyway, so select the slot, and then if turtle.getItemCount is greater than 0, so it checks every slot in order. So it checks the first slot. If there is an item in the slot, is what this line says. Then check the information on that item. Get the item detail, basically. And then if the name of the item is lava bucket, or if it's bucket, then drop it. And obviously if it's not, then it won't drop it. So like if it's cobblestone there, then it won't drop the cobblestone, so it will keep our cobblestone filling the inventory up there. And the nice thing about this is scalable, so we can just take out some cobblestone if we want and add more buckets, and then it'll transfer more lava for us. But anyways, so drop the items, drop the buckets, and then also assume it's not empty, because it just found... So, like, for example, what if the chest were full for some reason, and it couldn't drop the item and stuff like that? So that's a situation. So this basically accounts for all the situations that I've thought of. And then print, tell us where it's at, and then end all the stuff. And check if it is indeed empty. And if it says that it's not empty, then it just checks through the inventory again, and if all the buckets have been gotten out of the turtle, then it will move on and head back downstairs. So that is the idea, and we've got here, I think that is our completed program. It's 90 lines long, and yeah, so that's our completed program. So let's see, we got our program done, we got the filler items in the turtle, and yeah, so that's a thing. So let's just see where I'm at. Okay, so now we're just going to test it, and then we're going to head on to the next episode, basically. So, lava elevator. Oh, one thing I forgot to do. Okay, so this one should be good to go. So let's restart this, and this should keep running until it finds an extra bucket. So I'm going to get an extra bucket to it. However, one thing that I forgot to do, completely forgot about, is this turtle here. It needs to be able to take the buckets out of the tank cart. It needs to be able to put them in the tank cart and take them out of the tank cart and all that kind of stuff. And so I'm just going to check what was required in order to do that endeavor. So let's see, because I have a program that works for that, but I'm just going to check that out. But anyways, that is actually going to be next episode. So next episode what we're going to be doing, so we're done the major part of the program that took us many, many episodes to do. So that's the thing. So basically now, what we're going to do next episode is we are going to do two things, hopefully. We're going to do that simple program for that turtle, just to get the buckets through into the chest, the empty buckets, and all that kind of stuff. And so we're going to do that. And we're also going to create a pipe, just a simple pipe, from upstairs down to here to bring the empty buckets back down. So yeah, so that's the idea. So hopefully you enjoyed the video, and yeah, so see you later. And if you want to see more, there will be a link somewhere around to the A Thinking Pack playlist, assuming I remember to put it there. But yeah, so hopefully you enjoyed the video, and come back next time where we're going to do that. And just after that, then we're going to head on, hopefully, if all works according to the plans that I have, we're going to head on to Minechem to start on some chemistry stuff in Minecraft. So yeah, so that's a lot of fun. So hopefully you enjoyed the video, and see you later. Bye-bye!